Welcome to our vibrant network of governance, risk, compliance, and cybersecurity leaders. We share cutting-edge insights, best practices, and innovative strategies to empower professionals in navigating the dynamic cyber threat landscape. Join Circolo de CISO to ignite resilience and data protection across industries.
In this episode, we are here to talk about zero trust, a topic which is widely discussed in the past several years and has gained a lot of traction in several organizations. In spite of that, we still feel this discussion is worth another round of debate, or you may call it recalibration of thought process. Zero trust is helping organizations to adopt a risk-based framework. It is also helping organizations to realign their security and focus on an identity-centric security approach. And apart from that, people are talking about an elevated level of monitoring or advanced monitoring. In order to have this conversation, I have a special guest, Prajakta Akhande, founding president, Chartering IC Pune chapter. I request all of you to stay tuned. And if you're not subscribed, please subscribe, follow us. If you have missed the previous episodes with Prajakta on the trends in cybersecurity for 2025, what Prajakta thinks are important trends which we need to keep an eye on. And she also had a conversation with me on AI-centric cyber risk. And another topic which has got very least traction in the global platform is quantum-based cyber threats. So we had those conversations, and I would encourage you to log into our channel and listen to this conversation. All these conversations are limited to less than 10 minutes, so I'm sure you'll be able to spend that time and gain some insights. And some of the pointers are good checklists for you to take it back and review your security framework in your organizations. So without further ado, Prajakta, why zero trust? Why are we still talking about it?
Thank you, Sujit. So why zero trust? Zero trust is essential due to several evolving factors that are reshaping the cybersecurity landscapes, like rise in sophisticated cyber threats, work from anywhere culture, insider threats, cloud adoption, data privacy regulations, the complexity managing traditional security perimeter, regaining the control after the breaches is also important factor. Then shift to identity-based security. Zero trust are basically based on the four principles. First is never trust, always verify. Then the least privilege access, micro-segmentation, and continuous monitoring. By implementing zero trust architecture, the attack surface can be significantly reduced, minimizing the impact of breaches by restricting the lateral movement with the micro-segmentation principles, where you divide the network into the smaller isolated segments and each having its own security control. So when you detect attacks, it is easy to isolate those part of the segment, contain that device, and restrict the spreading attack all over the network. Right, providing the granular access control with your least privilege access, where users or the systems are given the minimal or necessary level of access, reducing the risk of the breaches. Enhancing the visibility into the user's activity with this continuous monitoring principle, where the each activity of user or devices or any entity is continuously tracked and analyzed to detect anomalies or the suspicious behavior. It improves compliance with regulations, mitigates the insider threats with never trust principle. It effectively protects the sensitive data across the network, be it cloud environment or on-premises environment. Right? One more trend is passwordless authentication. We all hate passwords. Imagine you're coming back after 10 days of holidays and you are struggling to remember your workstation's password. Or before you go on holidays, some people stores their password so that it will be easy for them to log in when they get back to the work. So passwordless network authentication offers more secure and user-friendly experience. And this is a good alternative to the traditional username or password-based authentication method. This authentication method really fits well in zero trust architecture. In conclusion, as digital landscape rapidly evolves, so does the associated risk landscape, making it essential for organization to prioritize the cyber resilience. And implementing the zero trust is the right step towards achieving the cyber resilience.
Absolutely, Prajakta. I mean, I'd like to add a few pointers to what you said, right? I mean, you did speak about the four critical components of zero trust. I would also like to add one more to it: assume breach. Now, sometimes people misunderstand this term. The point I want to highlight here is what could go wrong if the organization is compromised. The extent the organization would be liable, or the extent where the damage could be caused. So, to understand the blast radius, you need to also start thinking about what if. It's always good to assume that you have been compromised and prove that it has not been, would be a good risk-based approach. And that conversation is easy to have. When you go on the basis that, everything is good and you're protected, the last thing you get to know is something has gone wrong, which you have conveniently missed out because you're assuming that everything is in order. So I guess we're at a juncture where we need to change our thought process and think differently. Yeah. So that brings us to that conversation saying, okay, this is a good framework. You can fuse it with any of the frameworks, like maybe ISO 27001. We talk about role-based access control, like Oxley talks about segregation of duties, and it gels well with a point of passwordless. Another word for it is phishing resistant. And there are a lot of good pointers which every organization can adopt. And my experience, I would say, is you don't have to do it at one go. You can stagger it, but you can take it as a journey. Thank you so much, Prajakta, for sharing your insights, your experience. We'd love to see you on another episode where we would talk about another subject which would be of importance to the organizations.